what were your personal kind of feelings on that one, and how do you kind of come back from that?
We're trying to look ahead and stay positive.
Has it been hard to do that this week?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, finding positive things has been hard this year. It's been finding frustration is very easy. Finding negative things it's been very easy, and it's. But you cannot succumb to that because nothing good's going to come from any of that. So you have to keep trying to find positives, and if not, then try to create positives so that you can. That we can all find a way out of this hole. That you can do it as an individual, and then that as you can help others to do it, and so that we can do it together as a team.
You are one that's, this seems like it would be one of the more challenging seasons for you as far as being a voice in the locker room, and definitely as captain. Have you done anything differently or found yourself looking for anything different to try and help your team through things and be positive as a voice?
I mean, you'd probably would have to ask my teammates, but I think I've been a leader of this team for quite a while. Just because I have the label of captain hasn't changed much when it comes to that. I've always tried to lead by example on and off the field, trying to be as professional as you can, not taking anything for granted, working hard every day, trying to be inspiration to others and lift them up. I think what has changed maybe with that label is I'm trying to be the connection for my coaching staff to my players and let them know if there's something that's bothering them or there's something that they want different, that I'm the one that's gonna go to the coaches and I'm the face that brings that news. But I feel like that's been my job. That's what I looked at as more of a job, being a captain. Like I said, I think I was a veteran before. I was someone who had been in lots of situations before. So I think whether I would want it or not, some players will look for some kind of guidance. So that's almost something that you cannot avoid or shy away from.
The strikers miss shots in front of goal all the time, and they'll come back to practice. They'll just train us in finishing. When it comes to goalkeeping, which sometimes gets so highlighted because of that position, how do you train on getting better on those moments?
You train all different kinds of scenarios in terms of shooting, all positions or like all locations where the ball's coming from, all scenarios, all bouncing balls, half volleys, distance shots, wet field, dry field, traffic, no traffic. On top of that, obviously our game has I feel like has grown in terms of not a responsibility, but what you expect of a goalkeeper, right? I mean, for the KC game in particular, we were looking a lot and trying to become very vertical. Me maybe being a little bit sliding into not a libero position, but into a four almost in the back, so that I can find myself a little bit higher up. So maybe if we don't have anything, there is a spot to go along to Jordan, and we tried that a few times, and we were very close to succeeding. There's so many things to train on, and that's almost a good thing, because when you make mistakes, you can get lost in that training, trying to get better. Having said that, yeah, you're right. A field player can have 10 terrible touches. A goalkeeper can have 10 brilliant touches and one terrible touch, and the team pays for it. That is, I think, a very unique feeling that you can only experience as a goalkeeper or goaltender, for that matter. Probably hockey as well. So it's a huge burden you walk around with, and you need some broad shoulders to be able to deal with it and somehow come out on the other side. That's what we're trying to do this week.
When you look at that second goal, what do you spend much time actually looking at it, and B, what do you think actually, like, how would you describe what happened there?
Yeah, we get split on the left side. I try to organize my guys on the inside for cutbacks. I try to make sure I'm in front of the post, that if I have to dive to the left, I can clear the post. He hits it hard, middle. Try to move my foot in, the foot kind of gets almost locked a little bit, and then it somehow goes through. That's how errors happen. You know, it happens in a matter of 0.1, 0.2 seconds. Retrospect, hindsight is useless, really. You know, trying to discuss whether maybe I can make it easy on myself and I just go and close him out. But what I do in the process is I take myself out of the game. Then I take myself out of the goal, and then the cutback. If there is a guy open in the middle, I'm out of the goal and it's a tap in, right? So. Honestly, those, I don't know if there's much to learn from those, if I'm honest with you. I think there's more to learn from first one and distribution things and organizational things in that game in particular.
I guess along those lines, do you sort of have to believe that a situation like that is almost a gift, that you're going to make that save? Like, that's how you move forward, is you just have to assume next time you will make that save? Or is there something that you feel like you can actually do better? If that makes.
Yeah, I hope I can do better in that position.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you just sit there and hope that you can do better. We try to emulate certain things and try to, again, build up that confidence that when someone comes, that you, right? These things aren't about have you trained a situation and okay, well now you've trained it, now you got it down. It's not like that. It's an attitude thing. It's a comfort thing. It's a confidence thing. It's all those things colliding in a split moment that allow you to make a play or not make a play. And again, you know, as a goalkeeper, you make the play, great. The game moves on. You don't make the play, and the game has changed. But I think in those instances, I think you need some space. You get away from it, you look at it, you check it off, you move on. You try to find confidence in your goalkeeping as a whole, and not being like, I need to somehow correct that mistake in case it comes again, I got it. Because guess what? If I've learned anything, it's when you think you've hit rock bottom, you try to work back. You try to work back and you try to, oh, this is the last time that something like that's going to happen. No, you see Manuel Neuer gives up a soft goal. You know, like that just happens to everybody. The question is, how do you respond? And sometimes you're able to, and sometimes you're not. You hope that somehow, maybe in the actual moment, that your team can find something to try to bail you out. I thought the response was really good. I really appreciated our response because we were down a man. It was a difficult game. We actually came and ended up, I think, creating a few things after that. So I appreciate that effort. We weren't able to find it. Sucks. But I think that also shows the character of the team. You know, we've been talking about character and closeness and all that stuff. That you know, body language, all of that, those things. I think we're together. It just hasn't panned out. But we're trying to work for each other. We're trying to help each other out, and somehow, as we're staying together, find a way out of this hole.
May I ask? I mean, is that one of the?
Last one,
is
guys.
that the? Just to understand, was that the worst goal that you think you've given up in your career?
Well, that's an odd question, because I don't think you want to start creating a list of worst goals. No, I don't think so, because it cost us points. It cost us a point. So from a logistical level, it cost us 1 point. There's goals you give up where you have less. You're at less at fault, and they had more gravity. You know, I mean. First goal in MLS Cup in Columbus. Barely sneaks in under my foot after I get a touch. Get a tiny more out of that. There's some gravity in that goal, right? I couldn't tell you what is my worst goal or my worst 3 or my worst 10 or worst 50. No idea.
Just real broadly, I'm just curious. You guys have had a propensity for getting red cards. You've given up goals on a lot of those red cards. What do you think you guys could be doing better when playing down a man, or is it just a matter of avoiding being down a man?
That for sure. It's a matter of avoiding being down a man, and frustrating when there are avoidable situations. You know, sometimes it's I think that first and foremost. But again, I think I think our season, for me, our season has been living on a knife's edge the whole time. You know, we're kind of right there, but we're kind of not right there, and something bad happens or one person makes a mistake, and that's the end of it. I think in past successful years we've been able to weather those little things. You know, we've had a strong foundation, because mistakes happen. And we were able to weather those and find a way through where that didn't define us. As of right now, unfortunately, our mistakes, and as sporadic as they come here, there, here, wherever, they are defining us. And that's the challenge, maybe, where we need to find a way to give ourselves space to make mistakes, and still be okay moving forward and finding results despite a mistake. I've never played a perfect game my whole life. I never will. Again, some mistakes have higher gravity than others, but it's about finding a way where our base is strong enough that we can allow a little bit of space to breathe and push forward anyways.